hello. Done a quick trip out and about to try and find this particular mushroom. I didn't get to the place where I normally would go, but I saw this one popping up, and I think there's some more. No, that's not one. There's another one here, and this particular species was described from the Netherlands, but it's a bit weird. They don't know where exactly it came from. It fruits in this this heavy soil, and it comes from really deep below, and you can almost always see these mounds of dirt that it's pushing up. And if I pull one very carefully, you'll see it looks very much, I guess, like an Agaricus to some people. If I let this mature, the lamellae, the chocolate brown colour. Where I've touched it here on the side of the stipe, it's turned yellow really quickly, and in other places. I'm going to try my best to cut him in half. It's not a very common mushroom, but around here near Amsterdam where I am, it's quite common. It grows in sort of the same areas as Agaricus bitorquis. It's a very suburban mushroom. You might even find it in your yard pushing up tiles. Pavers in the backyard, because it is quite a strong mushroom. You can see here where I've cut it, it's started turning yellow, and eventually if we left it or waited long enough, it's going to turn this purple colour. I think it was originally described as Salliota, which is actually what all Agaricus were once upon a time, and then I think it was moved to Salliota, and I think Agaricus potentially, but currently the latest DNA phylogenetic work places it somewhere in Micropsalliota, which are normally quite small, hence micro, but these ones are usually quite big. And we're going to go to this other spot because there's potentially a lot more, and you will see the mounds that we can see when we are looking for them. This one was just a mound of dirt, and I've just brushed the dirt off a little bit, and you can see where I've touched it, it's started to stain that yellow purple colour. I'm going to leave that one. A lot of the time they fully form under the ground, and it's not until you really see those mounds that you can see the mushroom. But this is a spot that it's fairly known for. I'm actually around the AMC, and so we're going to go around the other side, see what else I can find, but particularly look for these ones. Okay, I didn't get very far, and straight away I've noticed some Agaricus, and these are pretty typical Agaricus xanthodermus. Straight away I can tell because of the habitat, you know, this suburban area, the grouping. These are all grouped together really closely, and then if you look at the pileus, you can see this browning and radially aligned cracking of the pileus. Lots of people are like, oh, how can you tell? There's no yellow staining. Whatever, you can tell once you get really familiar. And I'll bet lots of money that when I touch this one, it's going to go yellow. Slowly but surely it will. It's a little bit dry, but anywho, the best place to check for a staining xanthodermati Agaricus is in the stipe base, because of course you can see a slight yellow happening there. Of course there are Agaricus like xanthodermus which do also stain yellow, and to tell the difference is how the stain reacts, where the stain happens. So you can see here there's some quite bright yellow in the stipe base, a little bit in here. Xanthodermus will not do that. They will stain a more pale yellow on the pileus, which remains very persistent. It stays yellow or it turns a bit more golden, whereas these ones on the Agaricus xanthodermus will end up this brown colour after the stain is reacted. The other best feature for these section xanthodermati or Agaricus xanthodermus is the partial veil. As you can see on this one, it's a little bit harder to tell, but I'll pick a younger one as well. but it's got 2 layers, so you can see, where's my knife? You can see this one little thicker layer here, and then there's the thin layer around, and you can see that it's what we call a complex or a double annulus. And then on this younger one here, you can really see that it's quite thick. It's got 2 edges. It's double or a complex annulus, and these ones will stain yellow quickly because they're quite young. And you can see there. Of course, we can't smell through a telephone, but most people will know or have heard that these Agaricus don't smell very nice. They smell like a chemical called phenolic or phenol. I think it really smells like pen ink from a ball pen. Other people say that it's like a bin cleaner, but it's not a nice smell. You know, at section events we'll have these nice almond sweet smells, marzipan, whereas these ones, they really, most people say mushroom, but if you let it linger a bit, you'll smell it. Crush it up, heat this mushroom up, and it will, the smell will definitely intensify. Some people can eat these, and supposedly it's the people that can't smell the fennel, but I don't think I would be one to test that feature out. Really common. It's a little bit early this time of year. It'd be the first fruiting I've seen, I believe. But it's one to know if you're going to collect mushrooms out in the wild. This one will make you sick. You'll sit on the toilet maybe 6 to 12 hours. You'll feel pretty unwell. Hope that helps. Well, that was a bit of a fail. All that I ended up doing was digging around in mole holes looking for this mushroom in the other spot, so I've given up. A bit of an update though. You can see this one's turned purple where I've cut it. I actually kind of broke this one open. That's probably why it's not completely purple. Maybe I'll add in some other photos. I don't think I even gave the species name. So it's currently Micropsalliota geesterani. Geesterani, if you're not Dutch. I'm not Dutch. I try. But yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty cool mushroom. It's not very common. It does occur in other places. It occurs in Germany, I think, and maybe in the UK. It's quite uncommon though. It smells edible. I'm not sure if anyone's ever tried it. Don't think I'll bother. Better put a small disclaimer. I said about the smells edible, where I was really just referring to what a typical Agaricus would smell like, and of course that's no way to determine whether the fungus is edible or not. So please don't listen to me and say, oh, it smells good, so I'm going to eat it. You need to use all your features combined to come up with the best identification possible. And even if you're not sure, it's not worth the risk. That's it for today. I'll be back with some more short videos in the future. Until then,